hard moment on this conference that I went for
So we'll keep it in the back a little bit
in Nairobi.
When you get ready,
When the South African Minister of Transport stood up
he put
in the gathering where there are political parties from all over the world, and he said to me, he said, I want to applaud Liberia because your election was so tight, hotly contested, and President Bouaka only defeated President Ware less than 30,000 votes. And yet, President Ware conceded. He said, you people should continue that democracy. I was proud. I'm going to say, anyway, therefore, President, we have to concede and keep our democracy on the path it is. It's something, of course, I'm proud of, and I'm happy he did that. I will praise him any day for that, because not many Africans can do that. Look, let's stop all these political problems. People do something good, praise him. He could have stayed in power like other people. Yes, he could have done that. When President
Relations. Watching you live from SONA County Electoral District, number 3, Dom Mentor from the country district 7 for SONA by Excellency. Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. For Kola, Lofa County, Basement El Bar Jr. watching from Jerusalem. ICS Jar Jr. watching season for Liberia live General then watching the job web job. So I'd like to welcome all of you to the show this evening. New Liberia right here. ICS Jar Jr. Greetings, General. It's good to have you. It's good to see you. Thanks for standing in the gap. Mohammed Jallo, how are you doing, General, this evening? Kai, how are you doing, guys? Kevin. Wow.
The treason up will get him back, will soon get him back. AB is setting up. Look, we just want you to keep sharing this live. It's very important. As soon as we get AB on, Tonepa will go. I don't care what happened, we get it. Tonight, it's a big night. It's a bombastic night. Okay. Somebody said we should play Mr. Liar Manu. I don't know. I didn't do things that I do in my own country. They try to track me down. For what? I don't know. Mr. Liar, you know I didn't do the things you say I do. Oh, Mr. Liar. But they don't know you can't break what's in us. Rastafari. Big up.
I mean, I want to get out to dance, man, but it's not easy. Yeah.
That song is a very.
This show is being broadcast live under the Palava Hut on all of our platforms. So again, fellow Liberians, home and abroad, we are doing this collaboratively with Liberia's Action TV, run by the Honorable Moses Akaras Gray, Banner FM, and that of Kings FM. So under the Palava Hut is going to bring you live today's presentation of Face the Issue.
You keep lying. Lie, 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 lie. You lie, you lie, you lie. Mr. Liar, oh Mr. Liar, you say you lie, oh Mr. Liar, Mr. Liar.
Oh, I got a lot today. I was trying to say you lie, Mr. Liar, man.
Definitely.
Liar,
man. Mr. Liar, man.
BOAKAI has always been a liar and will continue to be a liar.
I do, Mr. Liar, man.
Oh yeah.
I know.
We are bringing you live the program from Face the Issue.
I go on the with no fireman. I go on the body fireman. Cover you a liar man, wicked man, bad man, foolish man. It's a liar man. Get away because he never love you. I say, oh no, Jaja, go.
We are bringing you live this program under the Palava Hut and all of our platforms. In collaboration with Face the Issue of Abraham Godson Will and Banner FM. Jaja indeed will judge them. Because today was another day of disgrace for Joseph Nyuma BOAKAI.
Yeah, man, BOAKAI a liar, man. You know, I didn't do the things to say I did.
In my own country, trying to track me down. For what? I don't know. Mr. Liar. You know, I didn't do the thing you say I do. Oh, Mr. Liar, man.
I tell when you don't start on.
Oh,
Come on, we gotta stop. So, I don't know what AB is on, but we're not getting AB. So, AB. Yeah, AB, come on, man. AB, I'm enjoying Mr. Liar, man.
You are very, very loud and clear on 98.5, AB.
Council? You know, we were just quoting saying last night, and everything we said came to fruition. And we said nothing else than lie, and that's what happened today. Maybe I think they will be having an inner circle how they test
because the people know that the exam has no quality in it. So maybe somebody
but that's very strange. Somebody needs to take the blame. Somebody needs to. You got to lose a job tonight, AB. Imagine in the midst of the president's speech, then it got released to the public. Maybe it sounds strange. Even though they say we are the book, we are what days incompetent, but it never happened during the administration of President George. We are in the midst, in the middle of the annual message that got leaked to the public. Imagine that.
Something wrong somewhere, something wrong practically somewhere, for which we are having these kind of.
One thing that happened. One thing that happened today, the face of the vice president or most of the ministers who they were highlighting their progress, you could see the sourness and the bitterness in their faces. That how did the old man get the figure and how he running with this? Because I look out from the public works minister to the health and other people are saying, yeah, there is something that is actually happening. So you could see from that facial expression that they know that speech was a complete lie. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah,
I agree. Even though they were in the numbers, for the cheering squad wasn't ready there today, AB.
No, but you don't certainly have to have a cheering squad, and that is where we felt that the president did not, or the organizers. Could we put it to the organizers of the SONA? Everything about the SONA was not too normal, and the part of the matter, even the post-SONA reactions, because like normally I've observed governments over periods. Whenever a president gave such a report, the aftermath of it can be felt in the communities where you see officials are all in the streets and there are various entertainment centers and you see citizens are having these kind of conversations surrounding that in places. The entire street has gone quiet. That's one thing we've seen so far since this SONA. I have driven through the streets of Monrovia, going from place to place. Entertainment centers are very, very empty, and there's no reason to celebrate because if you were to go there, people will bash at you. Why are you people celebrating here? You know the kind of shameful thing, man. So you want to go sit in your corner, and I sit at your respective homes, and maybe just try to be on Facebook, purporting to be and are happy about what the president said. But it's too shameful and very disgraceful today, and I owing to everything that happened today, and I would think with God, God is trying to fight the battle of the Liberian people. That's what I posted on my Facebook page. I said, all I can say, my initial reaction to the president's SONA is that we agree. Because ever since we saw these things, prior to the 2023 elections, we highlighted all of these these seats and all of these things we highlighted. The people said they agreed. You know, we just agreed. And the president said we agreed. And but we are here to critique it accordingly. Yeah.
Normally, right after the SONA, they always organize reception where they go and bake bread. Unfortunately, today, my reporter that I sent, because I did not go myself, but the reporter that I sent told me that most of the guests refused to go for that reception today. I don't know for whatever reason. At the end of the day, they allow the cultural troop, the other people, the small town people, the social club, and the rest. They were the ones who really enjoyed the meal today. I don't know for whatever reason, but the reception that was set up today, I can't know exactly what I'm talking about. He served as chair or executive. When the president gets to a message, followed by reception, where you see the wines, non-alcoholic drink, the best of meals will be prepared. Unfortunately, today, AB, the guy is saying, the ministers of government, the rest of the folks, refuse to eat that food today.
Why can they refuse to eat it?
I'm telling you, you gotta report on that father for him. The food was left with the cultural troop and the ordinary people who pass by. It's like everybody felt disappointed of the government today for a lot of things.
I think you're 100% right. I haven't been at the legislature and to do some coverage or to even attend any of the SONAs. And what exactly you are saying. So it is Honorable Moses Akaras Gray and that of Garrison Yellow, who have been at the legislature. They know and the pre and post SONA activities. and relating to what it is that will really unfold, especially leading to such an elaborate thing. Because it's like you are trying to give your report cards. Now, giving your report cards, it goes with excitement. And in fact, the hall itself was not characterized by the excitement. And someone was saying that, oh, the president, it's not like the CDC that you will see red berets all over the place. But where the president is talking about job creation, you didn't expect people on ground to have celebrated, to know that they have gotten jobs from their president, the elected to power. These are things, these are all indicators that we are expected to have seen today, that we have characterized the SONA today. But again, this is Liberian, this is JMB. Everything they do is out of trickery, and everything is fake. And we think we have to really look at it from different perspectives and see how we want. That's why we are here tonight, to grade you through what the entire SONA was about, what we sense from there. Most of you out there, you don't need to be told as to what the SONA was about. It was all about lies and deception. This is something that we always knew was going to be the order of the day, especially when it comes to JMB and his team. So they are the one that posting things, but the kind of reactions they are getting under their posts. The comment sections are very blurry for the guys. The comment sections and from the various officials of government who are doing the posting. And I think the comment sections are very terrible. You are not getting the best out of it. These are called terrible times. But again, we are here to give you the post-SONA analysis, to scrutinize what it is, to give you a panoramic look at what the president will not have all the time available in this world to touch on everything, but there are strategic issues that we're going to be touching on here tonight. And I think we are happy that we're together. We have Dale Francis Ray, and these are guys who are the engine, who were turning the engine and the wheels of our economic growth. These were the guys who were in the back, the unsung heroes. When you heard that indeed Liberia could surmount all of the challenges during the COVID-19 period, and not using the COVID-19 period as an excuse, unlike Joseph BOAKAI, who called do not draw down as excuses that he was trying to give for some of the challenges and setbacks they have. Unlike that, these were the guys that were there. We had legislative officials as well who were there backing the CDC administration and doing everything, something on the floor and battling against a very robust and of course cruel opposition and against the CDC at the time. So we have Moses Akar's grade is here, and we have Garrison Dodo Yellow. He had been one man who understands legislative politics, the fireworks associated with politicking, and he's one man seasoned lawyer as well. He's also here with us tonight. We expect Benedict Coliba to join us right here tonight. These are all guys who will try to lead us through in what it is, their own understandings of what we are talking about. I may not know some of the things. They know the readings. They have been following it. They know what we should expect, what Liberians should have expected that they did not get. But prior to it, I don't think Liberians were disappointed. Liberians were not surprised. I think they knew exactly what they were going to get, and they got it. It was JMB and his team that they surprised Liberian people, but they did not surprise them. They lived up to the expectation of the Liberian people. JMB delivered to the expectation of the Liberian people, and the receptions are all the expectations of the Liberian people. So, guys, time not on our side. We've gone 33 minutes already. Let me say, so for all of you, wherever you are joining us here tonight, the team will continue to crack on here tonight. Winston Bladding of SONA FM is also on the other side. So together we are going to host these guys together. And I hate for people to say, "Oh, man can lie." I hate that. I don't know which one of the figurative expression is that. Akara's great. Which one of the figurative expression is it when they say the "oh man can lie"? Oh man can lie. Oh man can lie. What is it?
It's a metaphor.
Metaphor? Oh man can lie.
Yeah. It's metaphor. No, it's real. It's not right off the original expression. It's just a fact. Okay. It's a fact. It's not a figurative expression. You are saying exactly as it is. Man can lie. Man can speak.
So wait, you know, oh man. Yeah.
Okay. Not just being. Yeah, you're not. Yeah. So when the people say the old man can lie, that's the fight. Okay, the old man promised to dance with the devil, so it's not a strange. After the state of the nation, the dress when the president gets to speaking, the Israel should go down to the Utana, okay, of the capital building to have their dinner after the entire program or supper. The president will speak, other people will speak that, the speaker, the pro tem, they will have a little people will eat in the place there, and the president will subsequently depart. But what Winston says then is discussing. And they just allow people to just get in it. Partly because the state of the nation was chaotic. Yeah, it was extremely chaotic. Extremely chaotic. So I try to round up by you on also because the reference is in and out.
Yeah, I don't know. Happening. Yeah, there is in and out. Yeah, there is in and out.
Very neat there and Benedict by. Yeah. I don't know if people get there on the line. Okay. Maybe for you again just on the line to participate.
Okay, so Rana is on. Yeah, Rana is on. And Rana, how you doing?
Yeah, Rana, we got Ishaka Sharif. Yes.
I get Abraham got Wayne. I'm doing so well. I'm so sorry for my background, you know. I'm an environmentalist and an agricultural practitioner. I'm always in the field, somewhere deep in the field, working with engineers and farmers. You know, I'm fighting to make the world sustainable. It's my background. I have back and you know, trying to talk to you about this conversation. It's a very interesting conversation. And so I have to pack. I'm experiencing extreme weather event, but I have to pack, get in the back of my truck, and have this conversation because the library must get the best of all, not the lies, not the deceit, not the honesty.
Right.
To work out today, I bring here the best lie of all time since 1857, and we must come here today on the show. We are here to engage with our bare hands, you know, the rich on.
Okay. All right. It's Taga Sharif. What's up? How's everything with you?
Yeah, good evening, AB. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Go on.
Yes, good evening to you. Good evening to Honorable Carlos, Moses, Talakai, Tomekai Gray. I mean, a former distinguished lawmaker and also another former distinguished one, the Garrison Yellow, Banner FM, Winston Glading. Dobayu, all of you distinguished people on the platform, thanks so much for the opportunity to be here again tonight. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a huge pleasure to be amongst men and perhaps a woman who has not come here yet. And so it's a huge opportunity to be represented tonight.
Okay. So thank you guys so far for being here. Before we can delve into the issues that we are here for, though we may not have the ample of time to deal with almost everything the president said, but there are several other things the president said today. So Winston and myself, we are here together so that we blend this idea so that our people have one and shopping shop and so that they can deal with, especially when it comes to the SONA issue. Before we can get there, let's lay down the groundworks, especially leading to today's SONA and the events leading to the SONA and the preparations and everything. So I would like to just open the floor out now to Garrison and that for Gray. Gray, you guys have been at the level of the national legislature. Today is SONA. Now, back to the SONA, we have heard a lot of issues in the legislature. It may have been rumors because nothing substantial has come up. Sometimes some legislators will put up threats that will not show up for SONA due to some lack of commitment on the part of maybe the speaker and so forth. These were news that we're hearing, and people said that the SONA were being boycotted by other officials as well. We did not see that. But when you look at the ground setting for the SONA, you people had ears on ground. What were your expectations leading to tonight? Let me say today's SONA. Garrison.
Well, for me, I never had any expectation. Like we said last year, that the president was going to say nothing more than lies, because obviously we have already preempted what they were going to say today, because we took the 2025 SONA, we digested it, and we analyzed it. And then coming to today, I don't know who wrote the speech, whether they were forgetting, because the projection of 2025 is completely contrary to what the president said today in several instances. So when we have no expectation, all we say is that another 2 hours waste of time, we will go and listen, because the people, they came to power on the basis of lies, and they will continue to propagate lies across this country. What we can do as opposition is that to erect the checkpoint so that the lies cannot speak in the ears of our people. And I want to hear today, but we put that that don't expect anything from this president, nothing new. They will be the same lies, or they will yet paraphrase everything, nothing new to expect from them. Legislatively, so now,
yeah, you are talking about legislatively. No, my question to you both is it possible for one to appear before the national legislature? Like, you people are always question people when you summon them. This is part of the summon. Constitutionally, there's a summon of the president for him to be summoned before the national legislature constitutionally. Now, he's not going there voluntarily. He's going there involuntarily, meaning the Constitution mandates that he must make an appearance before the national legislature and make a report. Such report, is it possible that it contains lies, and were that to happen, should people have fear appearing before the legislature and making a report and then lying bold-faced? Forget about the Liberian people out there. Bold-faced before the national legislature, the first branch of government, to appear there. And is there any way that one has to be prepared, very cautious, and very careful as to what they say before the men sitting right there in the joint chambers of the national legislature?
Well, Abraham, what thing should be strange to you? These people came to power on the basis of lies. And this president told the Liberian people that he would dance with the devil. Who would dance with the devil? Already you know. I mean, he's now one thing, sorry for it today, that he said. He said, because he started the whole speech about the actual attack on the Capitol. He said the case is at the temple, will show justice with his blah, blah, blah. He forgot to know that the state star witness for the state testify. And based on his testimony, they disband the juror, and then they say they want new trial. So the people who told the Liberian people for almost 1 year that they got premier facie evidence and conclusive, that the same people who went and said they don't say for the juror that this, the juror management is completely headed by the very justice ministry. So when you come back to tell us that we will prosecute the people in the just of the prosecution is not. One of the first legislative agenda was war and establish the war and economic crime code. Now, since the death of his Senator Prince Johnson, they tortured him, they harassed him with the war and economic crime code because they knew that the only thing that he never wanted to hear. And now you don't hear about war and economic crime code. You understand? So I'm just saying to you, there are a lot of things that they will not come out to say, but they know all the things that we said from the beginning. Knew that the president was lying. The statistics they were giving. You tell me now that the men are cutting grass from that somebody in comment. Even though he can't call grass, and wash clothes, and they're important. So they didn't care whether they're paying them. 200 LD, 500 LD, people get passed around because they are starving, kids are difficult, and they are going around to wash people's clothes that is going for them. That's what they keep. So, all they put into this is to prevent people and to take joke and make mockery of the Liberian people. And what the president did today is very interesting. Not too much, nothing more. The other thing about the SONA today, it was completely disorganized. You go first, we saw the speaker, the deputy speaker, they arrived, they were doing inspection, all those things. Is it their work to do? Why do you have the committee on rule of administration and the committee on the executive? And the people work to do. You have the protocol people. Even tell you that they don't now, they have to, that was showmanship. They don't go there to show that we there, we observing, we seeing this, we seeing that. Look, who have to be serious in this country? And like Winston just said, you know what? Most of the international guests did not eat, they get left. The president himself, after he laughed at the librarian, he was frustrated because women will know, even Madame Salif, when she was speaking forward, they will know that she telling people the fact of clapping, can see the celebration. But today, maybe 5 or 10 people clapping, it was actually enough. And on the faces of the official, it was very sour. This is where you know that this president is not in charge, and he got no clue about what is happening as such. Anything they put on people to give him. Can you imagine a president after the single national anthem telling you his security, give my heart, the place hot? When you know the camera is on you. No, that on my note that the first thing I talked today, he said, when I get my heart, they play it hard, put my heart on. Go back to the beginning, right after the singing of the playing of the national anthem. Now, what so the problem for addressing the nation is firstly focusing on a heart and the librarian people. But you tell it that in the 5 million also enjoy yourself. The very place you're talking about out there, almost the 5.8 million people, they are always out there struggling to look for food. So you don't care about them. They are out there in hot area and we should want AC. That's the message the president brought to Liberia today. Because that for me was the key thing I looked at. How was the president on camera be talking this? So I'm just saying to you, Abraham, nothing we heard, the whole state of the nation, it was state of confusion and deception. The state of the nation is crumbling. The economy is bad. Look, when the economy is good, my brother, you don't have to say it. You see it in the market. You will see it in Douala, you will see it in Rela, you will see it in Waterside, you will see it in Campley, you will see it in Bukunjila, you will see it in Banket County. You don't need to boast about it. When the state of the nation is good, when the economy is good, you will see it. You will see it. This man can tell you the MDA is one of the biggest achievements. But the sad truth, legislatively, the president has signed a budget. The budget at $1.2 billion budget. Like I was telling Winston, I said, don't man, that $200 million they put in that budget will take it from there and redirect it again. Listen to what the president said today. They are going to send the budget quickly for recast. The budget is not even approved. Because you are not signing the budget into law. And now you say you're sending the budget back for recast. Can you imagine that? Look, we have to be very serious in this country. Nothing we expect from him today, and nothing he proved to the Liberian people. All we can tell the Liberian people is that, yes, they have made a mistake to have him to come back and rescue himself, because after for 2 years, it was very difficult. They have rescued him. It's not time to say bye-bye and retire him, so that the men who have development in his heart, the men who knows about development, the men who are behind the strong, who understand the struggle of the masses, to come back and continue the good work he was doing. Nothing else we expect from him today. But legislatively, it was a disaster. Nothing we could boast of today.
Wow. It was a disaster, nothing we could really boast of today. Great. Let's get your take on it. I know you were sitting somewhere and listening. You listened to former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. You had an opportunity to listen to former President George Manuel Weah. Now today you have the third president to listen to, is His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai. But of those other 2 presidents, you were at the national legislature, except for Joseph Boakai, that you are outside of the legislature. That does not even include the fact that indeed you will still understand the workings and what it is. Tell us, what were your takes and what have you seen so far and what happened today?
Maybe I was even there when Judy Bryant was interim head of
state. Yeah, Judy Bryant. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Judy Bryant was interim head of state Republic of Liberia. All right, look, let's be blunt. On the onset of the organizational structure of the State of the Nation address, were lawmakers. Somebody background a little bit of it. So that was me, one of the microphones. I don't know who's that. Okay. So, look, if you look at from the onset of the State of the Nation address, the question is that the lawmakers themselves, the opposition lawmakers, started complaining that they were not provided invitation from the onset. Giving invitation to many lawmakers who are members of the ruling establishment. Who's that? Somebody background they got it. Yeah. Okay. So are you getting me, Eddie?
Yeah, go on, we're listening. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing here I want to tell the public is that President BOAKAI'S is a pathological liar. The Constitution, Article 58, provides for two cardinal points: the state of the economy and the legislative agenda. Those are the two major thematic concerns. What is the president's major legislative agenda? The president claimed that he wants to fight and battle corruption. In the president's legislative agenda, he didn't speak about the issue of establishing the fast track court that he has spoken about before. He refused to. This time, the president refused to talk about the issue of the establishment of War Crimes Code and Economic Crimes Code for Liberia. Prince Johnson is there. So the War Crimes Code gone down 6 feet or 12 feet along with Prince Johnson. That's the hypocrisy of establishing an economic or war crimes code we were targeting. So the president didn't say anything about that. The tourism bill that the president spoke about in the establishment of the National Tourism Authority is not the progenitor of that bill. It started from President Wiata. In fact, when I introduced that bill in the legislature, co-sponsored by Honorable Snoop. The Local Governance Act that he spoke about to create the local governance, the Ministry of Local Governance, it has a historicity as of 2018. So this president has demonstrated lack of vision, lack of substantial legislative plan for the forward march of the country in terms of his legislative agenda. I was not impressed. And never been impressed with President BOAKAI'S legislative agenda for the city State of the Union or State of the Nation address. We gave 0 in our presentation. He has no legislative agenda for the Republic of Liberia, just 0. Now look at the economy of the country. The president lied. It makes him a pathological liar to present the state of affairs of the economy of the country. Eddie, a president who says that they have created 70,000 new jobs. Imagine, how can you claim about creating jobs if you're talking about direct or indirect, if you're talking about skills or skilled laborers, when you have broken down many of the petty traders and the market women traders across the road lost their businesses. When the AFL just moved right to 72nd recently, Barricade area, there's no study. Most of the people's properties that you broke along the roadsides and the businesses out of jobs, that's not job creation. That is putting them into poverty. So this government has placed more people into poverty, and the president comes and lies to the public. That is deception. 2, the president is saying that they will provide more opportunities to new businesses. Very soon they will create 120,000 jobs. Imagine the hypocrisy. Imagine the deception. That you can't even show the sectoral errors when it comes to the creation of 70,000 jobs is a lie. It's an insult to those who work in the poo water and don't have jobs today. That's an insult. The president did not stop there. If you look at the president addressing the health sector, all the president talking about restructure. The president has not been able to say, we initiated the construction of a health hospital and we have concluded the hospital in 2 years' time, like the CDC-led administration under President. We are, when we talk about the 14 medical hospital, for example, look at education. The president was not able to speak anything substantial in education to say, these are the concrete things and steps that we're talking education. The president, we are in 2 years, will tell you, we made all public universities tuition free. We digitized the University of Liberia. We didn't stop there. We took care of the entire WAS fee. We made all secondary public high schools tuition free across the country. There is nothing to show by this government in those sectors. So the president said, what are you talking about? He said by 2029, listen to him. He said by 2029, we expect that we'll pay 485,000 kilometers of road. I mean, 485, not 1,000, 485 kilometers of road. Between up to 2017, 2018, they said the total road pay was about 1,200 and some more. Okay? If you subtract by the pay in 700 and some more, it means the CDC paid 530 kilometers of road. And this government that has no classes is telling you they will only pay 485 kilometers of road when the CDC only has technically 4 years in government, 3 to 4 years, because of the Ebola situation, the Ukrainian war, for example, the Jordan of Omid, and all those classes only have 4 solid years, technically. So in 4 years, the CDC paid 530 kilometers of road as reported in the arrest agenda. I'm not saying something off here. I'm saying what they wrote. 2018 to 2023, January of 2024. If you take the statistics and you subtract what they paid in 12 years, the remaining CDC have 530 kilometers of road. But BOAKAI is telling you that this government will not be able to pay 485 kilometers of road. The president now agreed that the RIA road that he claimed that was 20 kilometers, they only did 5 kilometers to take it to 25 kilometers in 2 years. What does that say about the developmental agenda of the country? The president lied to the nation. The government underperformed in 2 years. He comes back to talk about yellow machine. Courageously and bravely after lying that low, the yellow machine that his friend gave him there as a gift, he didn't want to stop there. He said, let's see what Double Jana will pay for it. He brought a yellow machine. Like we takes responsibility, like we said, they didn't take responsibility for bringing a yellow machine, but they take responsibility for sending the yellow machine all over the country. So the government is made of, especially the executive branch of government, I want to say 99.9% is made out of black beings, crooks and rascals and gangsters who own redemption. When the president talks about redemption, redeem, and say the state of the economy is better than the last 2 years. He's talking about his 2 years. Guess what? The state of the economy is better when President BOAKAI arrives 2 less of vehicles, as old as he is. When he takes a royal watch that costs almost $500,000 and he puts it on. When the president extends the fence and his home for over $500,000 in the rehab community. When he takes the brand for money unaccounted for, not budgeted for, and build a retirement home in 4 years. When the president criticizes flying in a private jet and gets into a private jet and ride it consistently, this president is the president of luxury. A man who said, if I will ride wheelbarrow, if I will push wheelbarrow, I even prefer to have wheelbarrow than to have luxury. So all that the president has done is to take care of himself, take care of his family, and take care of his few government officials around him, okay, and lead the country in abject poverty. The true state of the nation today, before I conclude, Abraham William and Wisdom Bladen, let me tell you the true state of the nation. The true state of the nation was when you, the local radio stations and online stations, went on the pavements and interviewed the people, and Unity Parties who voted for Joseph BOAKAI cry on the state of the economy to be devastated, terrible, shabby, destructive. When they claim that people are not even buying for them, when President BOAKAI shamefully said, this is the price of rice, this is the price of petroleum product, for example, this is the price of flour, for example. But have there been a reduction in the price of bread in Liberia? How does that affect the price of basic commodities when you have taken GST up? When everything you go and buy in the market or in the store, you have to pay extra taxes. When you go to a restaurant to eat, if you spend $100, it's like you'll be paying $114, the extra money in taxes. The country is suffering. This administration has created a situation where God is punishing the country like that evangelist or that reverend said, that if you vote Joseph Boakai into office, this country will suffer. Our nation is perpetually suffering. The country is plunged into serious, devastating economic chaos because Boakai is the president of Liberia. He lives in luxury, while those who walk in the purple water on our faithful day in 2023 to make him president of the Republic of Liberia, those people are suffering. Today, when I saw something, somebody reacted to my little brother, a more early statement. The lady said, from the Unity Party, I regretted what I had to support or vote Joseph Boakai. It's a curse. It's a curse. For this man to say 124 villages have been electrified under my administration, Boakai can lie. It makes him an extreme pathological liar. When the head of the country, the head of state, the head of government, and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia, the president of the country of the Republic of Liberia, lied during the period of campaign, and consistently come with that lie to the presidency. Then my good friend, I said, will say, or Kev Hassan will say, you can lie. You can lie to the public to campaign. You can lie about all of your campaign, but you cannot lie to God. And everyone, I want to be Winston Bladen to say this to you, that it's about time that we narrate our own stories. We should not permit other people to narrate our stories for us. We cannot allow for the West to narrate the story for the Africans. The Africans themselves must narrate that story. The CDC, the opposition must narrate that story. All of the lies on Joshua in 2 years. If you look at the analysis of what President Williams did in this country in 2 years, in terms of low-income homes, in terms of payrolls into ghetto communities, for example, into slums communities, in terms of electrifying our rehab community, paving the roads in rehab, where President Boakai lived as vice president, in terms of giving back hope to our people and restoring the dignity of our people. I want to say to you, you cannot compare the Unity Party 2 years in government to George Weah 2 years. Joseph Boakai 2 years, you cannot compare. Not even Ellen Johnson 2 years. From 2006 to 2008, you cannot compare those 2 years to Weah-led administration, because when it comes to basic social services, he beat them in terms of providing.
Okay, great.
Yes. When it comes to the issue of education, he beats them in the past 2 years. When it comes to the issue of healthcare delivery and construction of clinics and hospitals, he massively destroyed them. All right, we can say this and we can beat the chest. He maintained the price of rice, and the economy was far more better than what it is today. That bogus number, the runaway, is a disgrace to this country.
All right, so the SONA came in just on the backdrop of the World Bank and the Central Bank of Liberia's reports that talks about the state of the country's economy in terms of what it is, overall performance of the country, and then His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Boakai had to name 151.04% as to what it is. And there were a couple of areas that he named the highest revenue ever generated in this country, the highest budget ever approved in this country. I think 3 cardinal areas he touched, talking about the highest, amounting to the economy being just better under his administration. That's what he said. So welcome Dale Francis Rure. Dale, you guys are economists, and those of us who are out there, we may think the way we think, but again, there are other structural issues that people will deal with in terms of looking at what the economy is like. The way the layman out there looks at the economy, his definition of the economy is different from the way the elites or the academic elites look at the issue of the economy. So those are different ways. How do you align both, or whose understanding to surpass, or whose understanding should be more supreme? Now today the president has spoken. From whose lenses he's speaking, either from the elite lenses, or he's speaking from the common people's perspective. You people contributed to speeches delivered by President of SONA, especially on former President George Manuel Weah. Here we are today,
from the state of the economy, according to President Joseph Yuma BOAKAI. Is there anything strange that greeted you today, you as Dale Francis Brewer?
Thank you, AB, and good evening to everyone. Firstly, on the economy, you know, it's difficult to sell on a performance. You know, the economy has been struggling.
Okay.
The fact of the matter remains, the economy was projected to grow at 5.8%, and then the World Bank, the IMF, working with the Ministry of Finance Authority and the Central Bank, they all revised our growth because of the difficulties in the country in terms of production, in terms of consumption. And if people are not consuming, it's just an extension that people are not earning money. If people are not earning money, it's also a very simple example that people are not working. And those that are working, maybe they are not working anymore, so they cannot give autonomous income to some of the people who are not working for them to consume. So if people are not consuming, then it has a negative implication on the economy. So based on the sluggishness of the economy, the World Bank, the IMF, and even our own local authority, the Central Bank, they revised the growth from 5.8 to 4.8%. But it was strange today that President BOAKAI announced that the economy grew by 5.1%. Maybe beyond the World Bank, beyond the IMF, he did some revision. So he probably will have to explain that, you know, when the IMF mission comes back. But even in the midst of whatever figure that he gave, the reality on the ground is glaring. You know, things are difficult. And besides things being difficult, even the people who have money, they are finding it very hard because things are expensive. And it brings me to a very important point when the president, in his speech, sought to, praise the vice president about the committee he set up for them to reduce prices, and that they have reduced inflation to 4%, which according to the president is the lowest. And for me, I thought that was very deceitful. What the government did over the year 2025, they did not reduce inflation. They actually manipulated inflation by sterilizing the Liberian dollars, refusing the banks to have access to Liberian dollar, and making Liberian dollar to appear in the last quarter of 2025 like Liberian dollar has appreciated, taking a rate from 200, from 198, 196 to about 160, 165. When in actuality, people were still buying in Liberian dollar at the exchange rate of 200.
Okay.
All of the restaurants, all of the stores, when you went to go buy things and you gave them US dollar, or you gave them US dollar, they would tell you to add additional Liberian dollar on a US dollar because they didn't want to be at a loss in terms of foreign exchange. And for the ordinary people, they also observed that the very cook shop, the very restaurant that they went to, the prices of things never dropped in Liberian dollars. Say, for instance, the government said, oh, they reduced the price of rice to $14, which for me is a diabolical, falsehood. And it's so disappointing that the president of the republic would make that kind of pronouncement, that bag of rice is $14. When they actually made the announcement that bag of rice should be $14, the supplier, the distributors, they agreed to it because they knew that it was just not possible for the 25 kg bag of rice to be $14.50. So what happened was it went back to the same $16.50. But this is the trick though. At $16, the exchange rate that they said reduced. People went to go buy the same rice, but they were buying the rice at the exchange rate of 200 because The stores that were selling rice could not sell rice at $16 at the exchange rate of 150 or 160. So the trigger rate that the government applied was to hire Liberian adult from the commercial bank, and by hiring Liberian adult from the commercial bank, it made it appear that Liberian adult had appreciated. And in so doing that, what I resulted into was to really reduce the income, the value of the income that people had in USD. And who were the people that were affected? If somebody was making $50 and if they changed that $50 at 200 rate, and they used to get 5,000, but you brought a rate, you forced the rate artificially, you manipulated the rate, you brought the rate to 160 because you decided to hold a Liberian adult at the central bank, not putting it outside. It means that man $50 when he changes at 160 or 150, he gets $3,500 or $3,800. You know, whatever they offer, 5,000 some more dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the man gets that amount, what his $150 US dollar pay could buy him like when I don't want the rate was 200, it cannot buy him that same amount because the rate now is 150 or 160, but the actual price in Liberian dollar remain at 200. That's the manipulation and that's the deceit that the BOAKAI government, on to make the exchange rate, to make inflation appear like inflation has dropped to 4% or single digit, which he boasted about as the first time in the history of the country. And that's a deceit. And he actually punished the civil servant that were earning US dollar and had to change Liberian dollar. He also actually punished those who receive remittance from America, from abroad, and had to change their money to Liberian dollar before buying. Because once they changed the money, they also bought in Liberian dollar at a $200 rate. For me, that was very deceitful, and I think the central bank, along with the Ministry of Finance, they cleverly, I would say very cruelly did it, and allow a lot of people to lose income, on the basis of that. Secondly, on the issue of revenue, I see Unity Party people, I see the president, posting, we're financing our budget and through domestic resources. It's not strange. Before president, we are left office, 80% not to 2% of our local, our domestic resources, we use it to finance our budget. So this is not a strange thing. And what President BOAKAI should be doing is to leave it beyond a very solid foundation on which he can now build from 700 million to 800 million, which in the case of the CDC in 2017, 2018 was not the case. The CDC inherited a domestic revenue base of $354 million. And the CDC had to work through innovation, not just increasing tax rate, unless the BOAKAI administration expand the tax rate through innovation. They see innovation that they are using to collect more money today. Is that foundation that the CDC left behind that BOAKAI, the Unity Party and their people are riding on and making it to seem to the Liberian people that this is the first of its kind for the government of Liberia to finance its budget through domestic resources. We have been doing it. We lay a very solid foundation for the UP. The UP having had any good problem, I say any major problem, if I will put it that way, unlike the CDC that upon assuming power in 2017, in 2018, had to live with the departure of Omil, have to live with the epidemics of COVID, and also have to witness and intervene in the departure of several international donor partners that were supporting education, that were supporting health, and I was supporting a lot of things. I see a lot of the United Party people including the president crying about, oh, USAID. USAID was just one of the organizations in 2018 that pulled out of Nigeria. But CDC still managed after Ombe's departure. Ombe was bringing into the country $30 million every month to pay 15,000 employees and also pay more than 1,500 surveillance staff. The departure of Ombe created a huge economic burden for the country. But in the midst of all those storms, the CDC came up on top with very strategic and sustainable reform that today took for domestic resource mobilization from an ordinary of near 350 million to 700 million before the exit of the CDC. So, I mean, just to summarize for now, Waka and his administration should not boast of anything. They should just trade very carefully that what we left behind, what they inherited, they should try to meticulously build on it. Instead of saying and throwing words out that they have done this, they have done that. If we go to all of the sector one by one, which we will do later, education, health, there's no impact. I see the man talk about health, he just read 2-3 lines in health. When the critical people in health, the nurses, the doctors, and all the different workers are calling some of them on go slow, and he said nothing about it. So, AB, the state of the economy, the state of affairs.
He said they increased salary for 23,000 workers.
Yeah, but those are the things that CDC was doing. Those are the things that CDC was doing. Salary top up. So before CDC left power, we did salary top up for more than 43,000 employees. In the CDC administration, we did salary top up for 15,500 employees in the first year of the salary reform. So we were not making noise about it. We were not putting it in President Weah's speech. Before President Weah even left office, more than 16,000 employees that were earning below 150 in gross salary were moved to 150. So those are things that we felt we needed to do without too much of publicity. But the same thing, they may add $20 on somebody pay, he add $15 on somebody pay, then he go and make an announcement about it. If he thought he really increased the pay of the health worker, why are some of the health workers wanting to go slow? They wanting to go slow because before CDC left power, CDC had a comprehensive salary pay grade or policy for the health sector. And I will explain it very quickly. You know, part of the CDC intervention was to increase the salary of medical doctors. Medical doctor pay went from $800 to $2,000 minimum, $2,132 to be very exact. So medical doctors are just one cadre of the health workers or the health sector force. So as we're making in the public relations, we're making statement, oh, we carry doctor pay to $2,000. You know, some of the nurses, some of the midwives, some of the nurse anesthetics, and some of the lab technician, they all say, but the hospital is not only run by the medical doctor. In fact, the people that man the hospital and take care of the patient 24 hours around the clock are the nurses. So how can you then be boasting that you carry doctor pay to $2,000 and you never carry nursing pay to $2,000, or you never carry nursing pay up? So say, okay, that's true. You have some reasoning in that. What we do, we will revise the policy. We'll ask for all the positions in here, and then put in place a policy that will take you up. The same way we carry medical data or to a level, but we'll do that gradually. So that policy was signed by the Minister of Finance, by the CSA Director General, by the Minister of Health, and also the Health Worker Association, witnessed by the Civil Service Association. So that was a policy of government signed by all the ministers. What the United Party do, who say they came to rescue civil servants, especially health workers, they tried that policy. The first year of implementing that policy was $5 million. That policy is still on the books. That policy should take a nurse from at least $200 to the first year to at least $550. So if Gafon can and take $20 and add it to somebody who pay was $200 and make it $220, you expect to help people to celebrate him? No, because his intention are misguided. He's not following the procedure that was laid out in terms of how we progress gradually to increase salary or all the different sectors of the workforce. So those are the lapses. And as we move on the show, we will identify them. But UP inherited a lot, and I'm totally disappointed in the way they are proceeding, that they are not achieving a lot in terms of the very important issue.
Francis, and you just laid key points, and this is where the crux of the entire discussion will really lie, especially GMB talking about economy, because that's the bread and butter issue. That's where you tie the entire bread and butter issue. You made mention of several other issues and talked about how the people begin to sterilize the Liberian dollars and they've been holding back. Not, this is something that can be confirmed. Like these several other economists have said it. This is what it is, because where is the Liberian dollars? And we don't find it, and it's nowhere to be seen. Even the season period, where sometimes when people who just had no cash in their homes through those social means, we thought that it would play significantly into the season period where rates would have gone up a bit. But from your own perspective, is the economy being controlled by the government or suffocated by the government, or the economy or the market forces are determining what the economy is? What sort of economy are we experiencing now?
Well, we generally operate a free market economy, intervention through the fiscal and monetary arm of the state. In the case of monetary arm, the central bank, and a central bank allows the economy to flow freely, like it was when the exchange rate was maybe 198. I mean, probably people who have changed their money and buy things at the rate they were buying, you know. But because the government wanted to achieve low inflation target, so what they did was to say, okay, the central bank is the model bank of all the commercial bank. So say the commercial bank, commercial have to go to them for Liberian, and commercial bank don't have Liberian. If commercial bank have Liberian, they have the ability to and take it to the central bank. It doesn't have value, and if the Liberian value depreciate, that's how inflation goes up. But then to appear that is making inflation on paper is to say, you know what, it when a 3 billion Liberian dollar, which will be given to customer for customer to go in the market. Okay? Let us not give EcoBank at 2 billion. Let's tell EcoBank, we not giving you 2 billion, we'll give you 500. Let us do all of that, the same strategy with all the commercial banks. So if the market is actually demanding $10 billion for the quarter 2025, if we get the 10 billion, I mean the exchange rate will be to 198 or 196 or 190. So if we don't want the exchange rate to be to 190, let us not give the commercial bank the 10 billion. Let's give the commercial bank 3 billion. Those who want Liberian, if they are not finding Liberian on the parallel market through the money exchanger and all the different people, then the money exchanger will reduce the rate. When they reduce the rate, then the central bank will do their regular survey, call people, the rate dropping, the rate was 160, the rate was 180, but it comes to 170. For the last quarter of 2025, exactly that was what was happening, because the government artificially kept the money in the central bank and then gave to the commercial bank because they wanted for the rate to appear like the Liberian or Guinea. The rate loaded, it was falling. When people want to go buy, I think they were buying 1,000 Liberian dollar. They were still buying the 1,000 Liberian dollar. So that means they needed more US dollar to get the 1,000 Liberian dollar, which was unfair to them. And that's the unfairness that I'm talking about. If you put all that into context, several millions dollars of worth of satisfaction was taken away from the population because of the cruel policy that the government initiated.
Brilliant. I think that's great. Garrison,
you know,
so, yeah, Garrison, I was
now you see what is happening.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm seeing something on the screen there. It's too blur. Gray, you are muted. You have to unmute yourself. Gray, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, let me read it quick so it can help.
Yeah,
it's very important. From the minister designated for youth and sport, the deputy for administration or minister of state, who said data for 70,000 jobs, visualization sector, distribution, estimated base report. Infrastructure 1 or public works, 35,000 people, roads, urban lighting, yellow machine. The yellow machine and that town already put their job for you already. Yeah, one infrastructure / public work, 35,000 persons employed for the roads, urban lighting, and yellow machine. 2, social protection relays, 15,000 cash for white, street children, reintegration. They say they have 15,000 people cash for work with street children to get a clear off the street, all that in social protection. 15,000 people they employ. Can you imagine that? Agriculture and fishery, 12,000 people. Mechanization, picking vessel, cocoa scaling. The people can pack the cocoa and thin, and they say they employ that one and all. Small business folks, small business like you, 8,000 entrepreneur grant, civil service volunteers. The jobs have short-term, medium, permanent civil servant. Short-term, 60%. Medium-term, 30%. Permanent civil servant, 10%. So if you got something for 1 week, that means they call a job in Liberia. 50%. Can you imagine that?
Wow. There, is that what you guys call?
Everybody seems to be justifying this 70,000 employment, but the question that I got for all of you, Dale, Akaros, who actually lied to the Liberian people? Is it an official of government or the president himself? Is it that no, but I'm very sure what they did.
No, the president is not a puppet.
I'm very sure what they wrote and gave to the president was exactly what he read. So who actually lied to the Liberian people? And another part of that speech, you will see over $1 billion disbursed to small farmers, blah, blah, and so far. Who actually lied to the Liberian people?
I just want to come in brief this morning. From what the minister designated for youth and sport just posted, it means that CDC warned them with the issue of employment already. Because the first thing during the CDC time, you will get to understand that CDC have more people on contract because they have more road project going on. So if the reasoning is because you have road project going on, people who do small work, that employment, then we should not be talking that we should be telling the Liberian people that CDC did well. But we were not looking at those manual things that someone can cut somebody grass within 1 month. And mind you, I was talking to somebody right after the State of the Nation. They told me that the president's job is the 1 month job they gave him the photo of metal steel. Go for 1 month, they counted that job. You go for 2 weeks, they counted that job. So even in your yard that are cutting grass, people are coming to wash your clothes, that job. So, by their own parity of reasoning, it means that CDC did well with employment. The other issue is that, and we all they'll forget to talk about. The president talked about infusing under $1 billion Liberian dollars in the market. Had this pronouncement been made by the CDC administration, then they will be asking you for lists. Who got it? Where it went? This and that. They will be asking you all those questions. But today, the president is telling you we don't even know where who they get the $1 billion, who they give the money to, nothing. There is no
in fact, sorry, Yelu. In fact, that's exactly what the farmers are asking for. Publish the list. That's what they are demanding now. For them to publish the list.
The guy said in 2025, over 198,000
You know,
farmers. Listen to this, so in 2025, over 198,000 farmers received government support, leading to expanded rice and cocoa cultivation and increased aquaculture output, infrastructure improvements, including the completion of 166 kilometers of federal road, have reduced transport costs and enhanced market access, enabling 33,755 Liberians to move from food insecurity to food security. 198,000 farmers receive government support. 198,000 farmers.
198,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then another contradiction there to get Akaras, he said, on their fiscal discipline, there is no exemption. If you follow him, Kinney, he said, on their fiscal discipline, there's no exemption. But Kinney, in this budget, LPRC is not contributing, NPA is exempted, Maritime, all the groups, they are exempted. So it's a big contradiction. It's a big contradiction. There is more exemption from the state-owned public corporation or autonomous agency that should be generating money for the government. They are exempted now. It's a private company for Joseph BOAKAI and his family, not for the Liberian people. But he said, because of the fiscal discipline, there is no exemption.
Well,
So, you know, we just taking basis today, but by tomorrow, when they publish that speech in full, the soft copy, when we come back to this course, it will be more robust than what we're doing tonight, because everything we're seeing is just people taking pictures and all those stuff. Let's get ready.
You know, the president saying issue 16 $1 under the year review in 2025. He made a mistake. Maybe he's talking about from the time he became president. 16 executive orders in 2025. Where are they? 16 executive orders. So 198,000 farmers he accepted. We need to find the farmers.
The farmers are asking questions, publish our names. The farmers are demanding the government to publish their names.
That is not the most dangerous lie today.
That's why the strength
That
of
is
the legislature comes in on our side. The president said the data on employment, the labor ministry presents the listing of employment in the category. The president said maybe communal gratuity from our father, who is labor minister, maybe that's why she published a twice. Like father, like daughter, maybe. So 198,000 people, you say 70,000 people were also employed. They put the category. The legislature needs to invite the labor minister now. The legislature needs to invite other sectors of government, that the agriculture minister to say, hold on, you know about 198,000 farmers? Do we have over 198,000 farmers? Where? In how many countries? Then the president saying that they electrify at 224 homes in few countries, in the villages. Can you imagine some of the LC management team? These are the things that we
maybe some of the
minister of state that in 2025, the president saying issue 16 executive order. Mr. Minister of State, where are the executive orders? Where were they published in 2025? These are the questions that must be asked. These are the concerns that must be raised. Because there is no way they can intellectualize this conversation. The president's state of the nation today was a flop, not just a political recitation, but the president lied to the public. He lied about everything. And this is dangerous. This is dangerous for the public.
But you know, Akaras,
but honorable
Akaras, let me quickly.
Those are not.
You know, let me put the employment in context. Maybe the ordinary person will not understand it. If you say you employ 35,000 people in infrastructure, and then you take the whole estate sport complex, you fought it with people that you employ. That SKD capacity at 25,000. That means people that they employ, they follow SKD, and all outside there, they
yes.
play work.
The SKD has a capacity of 35,000.
Yes. If you say 198,000 farmers, 198,000 is not a small number of farmers. Are you saying you classifying some of the people as farmers because they went and go buy in the market? And the number of times they go buy in the market, you counted there. The number of times they went there, each time they went there, you counted them. So, like Akara is saying, since the president has given the number, anytime president speaks, it becomes policy. It becomes truthfulness. So let the legislature, the people that have oversight, invite the relevant ministry and agency because they don't want to get the president the number. I see Cornelius saying, the other person went to this, it went to the other one, but 70,000 are not beings in a Liberian simple English.
Well,
that's exactly what I was saying. The minister gave the president the numbers, and that's what he read.
The whole civil service, civil service of the Republic of Liberia is 63,000 or 65,000 persons. So the president is saying he wanted 20.
Yeah, they employ more people than the CSA.
Looking serious to you.
All the CSA put together. Can you imagine that? Yeah. But the president lied. He said something. He said they renovated the University of Liberia, but was printing the cost. He talked about UL renovation.
Yeah.
The president who is set up the nation today.
Why renovate?
But the students of the University of Liberia are painting the campus. They are helping to renovate their own campus. And then you struck a very important point.
Yeah, Honorable Great.
The president has the contradiction. Is 70,000 persons got employment in 2025. That is so. But you also empower 198,000.
Great, that's not the biggest lie. One of the biggest lies here is
Isaga is muted. Yeah, Isaga, you're in.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you said one of the biggest lies. What?
Yeah, I said one of the biggest lies is that the president intimated that he has paved about 1,450 kilometers of road in 2 years. He said because he took it from 12% to 20% of the entire 13,000 kilometers of unpaved road we have in the country. He said his government alone has paved 1,450 kilometers because he took it from 12% to 20%, meaning he has done 8%.
Okay, but then Isaka, then that percentage,
8% of 13,000 of road across the country.
Yeah, then that is very essential.
So he has done. He said he has done 1,450 kilometers of road in 2 years.
Yeah, but that is something that is debatable. But the fact of the matter is, the president mounting a podium, all of these issues is stretching to a bonus on the economy of the country, and that is what he says. Now he talked about the issue about roads and like what you are talking about. They went deeper into the issue about the bread and butter issues, yes. But on the issue of electricity, now, which is very much essential, 83,000 homes were already connected in addition to where we are left it. Now, is that a plus or a minus? 83,000 homes, because if Unity Party in 12 years left electricity connection at 37,000 homes, and then Joseph Boaka beats Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's record at 83,000, and then George Weah beat both all together, I think there should be a plus that Joseph Boaka is looking for against Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's 12 years of Unity Party reign threshold. Well, you have been there. Person, you were in Nima County, the issue of connections and so forth. Where are we taking these numbers from? Where are the numbers? You people in communities, you're foreign off. Where are the numbers coming from? We are asking for numbers. We are asking for areas to locate these numbers and ties.
Abraham, Godson, the editing story nobody can lie on editing story. See me? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Listening. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
I'm getting you.
The editing story is a difficult story for anybody to lie on. That lie involves Panaseri left power Liberia only had the hydro that were operating with 2 turbines and the heavy fuel that to Bushel Island, the diesel engine. The CLSG, there was some work that started only around 5%, but Liberia needed to invest heavily into cross-border electricity supply using the CLSG. Beside the CLSG, you have the cross-border current between Lima, Maryland, Benchida, all the places. All the current came through, but what happened was the government accumulated debt because there was no regulator in the area to charge, to build the citizens that were using the current. So as CDC, over the 6 years of government, invested in the CLSG. Invested in the CLSG through the big transmission line that came from Guinea, that came from all the different places. Also invested in the CLSG in terms of the substation that were established, not only established or constructed, that were also energized. That means you build a substation, you bring current there, you test the current, and make sure the current is allowed. It's easy to leave the substation to go into the homes for people to use it. 7 substations were built. In fact, the current managing director of the LDC even admitted during a confirmation hearing, and which is a very fair thing that he did. I say all of the investment in CLSG, who can give that glory to the past government of George Weah. And it was based on the last 2 years of the CDC administration, having cleared all of the debt. That's why you see current was stable, the same way current stable. So in terms of electricity stability, it's a CDC that laid a foundation. And it's that foundation that Unity Party want to ignore and make it seem that, oh, they want restoring stable electricity. And as they were saying, God just left from behind a few weeks, the current start tripping. And the reason why the current tripping, because some of the information that we get, they are now supporting the LDC, that how CDC supported the LDC to pay the bills. They are not paying the bills to Ivory Coast. So every time the LDC will experience a technical breakdown, because during the dry season is the meantime that we consume current from Ivory Coast. So if we're consuming more current and we're not paying the bills on time, then Ivory Coast now, or where we're getting the current from through the CLSG, they will have to take us some action that will compel us to pay. And since we haven't been paying, that's why the dry season, you see the current sharing, the load sharing has become so evident. So CDC connected more than 240 households, 240,000 households. CDC are doing around 40,000 households per year on average. All of the investment in electricity was already done. How can Unity Party come to power? Then the next month they go electrify Riverside. That is any sense in it? Somebody never planted the pole, somebody never ran the wire before they go and pull it in Riverside. You able to connect 124,000 villages, like the president said, or 124 villages just in 1 year of administration where you never met anything there. But because these people, they are very deceitful, they can lie so easily, and they don't have shame in lying, they can just say things that bring people to believe them. The same thing they're doing with roads. How can somebody come to power within 1 year and they say, oh, they dedicated the road, they didn't want facing the road? You know what it takes to face road? You first have to do the civil work. You have to build a coverage, you have to build the bridges before you do asphalt pavement. So Unity Party, when they were in opposition, they were doing all the things behind the scene that they want all to believe. But because the people use
so, AB, please take note of the time, AB, please take note of the time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, man, it's too plenty to talk.
Too plenty. Yeah, it's too plenty. We just want to bundle them up. Garrison and that of Gray, the president says something which is very much strategic, and it should raise alarm to all of us. And I don't know from whence he's speaking from. We understood that the budget had not been signed. Some of you just stated it just now. But the budget was just passed, and then we hear from the president at the SONA that indeed they want to recast the budget. Now, let's look at legislative-wise. When these people appear before you people in the budget is sent to you people and they scrutinize,
and then passed on by the national legislature and sent forth to the president. Looking at the amount that they're talking about, yes, the president and that of his LRA boss, they are bragging about raising revenue at the highest. Now, that impact, the impact of that revenue generation is not being felt where we have challenges. So forth here and there. LPRC is not remitting, MPA is not remitting to the budget. All these things are gaps, but yet they are reporting huge revenue generation. Then, you people care to know, as lawmakers, where is the money going for which the president is reporting in such manner? Do we know where the money going? Because if you talk about raising revenue, then of course, whatever we need that we put in the budget should be supported the best way possible. Where is the money going? Is that a question that you lawmakers able to ask? Garrison?
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is that there's a person that boasting about $1.21 billion budget, but if you're going fiscal year, you also know that our debt increased, the debt alone is $230 million, over $230 million, almost 50% increase just in 1 year. So it's laughable. You say you're collecting plenty of money in revenue, but your debt is increasing high. So where the money is going? The money you're boasting of collecting, what are you doing with it? Where is it going? No, like Dale, who is the technician here, is saying, look, maybe honestly, like I told you today, nothing. Because if this president will tell you the budget, the former chair on executives here, the budget have been passed by both houses. They have sent it to the president, and now he got the budget in the motion. He have not signed the budget into law. Maybe if he did it, it was done Nicodemously, and it was only done in darkness. We don't know about it. It have not been published. But then he told the people that we want to recast. So you know what they want to do smartly. That $200 million now, that the legislature passed, they may not come and use it for themselves now. Now, why you see smarter they put that money on a contingency? Because they were just waiting as soon as they made it, and now what they're waiting for is for them to just sign the MDN. When they send out everything with it, trust me, the recast is all about that $200 million. They will use it the way they want to use it. So that where we were from Nima, we are hurt because nothing absolutely we're going to get. In fact, maybe the pitiful 6.1 they gave us, there are several issues in the county that matters issues were resolved. Now they're saying in their MDA, and the president is boasting of the MDA that say, when you don't pay, we'll fine you. When you don't do it in force, we'll fine you. So if the man pave the road from San Quentin to Yekepa, and the man does not do it in a year, you fine him 100,000, it's nothing to him. Then you prefer to violate and not do anything.
I think there is increasing control.
But let me add something.
You can remember great Garrison, I told you last that the budget have not been signed. Since last week, that budget been at the legislature. This week, they will introduce it for recast. That budget have never been signed since submission.
No, it's a contradiction. It's a contradiction. That's why I wanted to come. There can be no recast. There can be there cannot be a supplementary budget presented when there is no budget itself being passed or signed into law. We have the national budget, the full budget itself. If the government identify additional revenue, what is an existing budget, then they send for what? Then they send a supplementary budget. Okay? But until the budget is signed and sent to the legislature, how would the budget not be signed and the president requesting for supplementary budget?
Because within a unity party government, everything is possible. Anything is possible within a unity party government.
I'm not saying that criminally the guys will not go and pass on it, but there must be a budget. The fiscal year budget must be a supplementary budget. So the budget sent to the president, how they're going to have a supplementary budget now, like the president said today?
Akaros, this is what is happening, right? Over the past 2 fiscal years, you know there have been no civil leadership in terms of budget oversight.
Okay.
Yeah. That's true. So, but the thing is that,
yeah, there is.
And there,
you can go and come back. Go and come back.
In the 2025, basically, past the 20, when they had a leadership crisis, right? This 2025 budget, the 2026 budget, which is on account of performance in 2025, when you look in at 2026 budget, they also look at carry forward for 2025.
Okay.
So what they done was to include in the 2026 budget all of the revenue that
nice.
In 2025, so that it can be part of the 2026 appropriation.
Yes.
But because they have different agenda, they want to pass the 2026 budget, then they bring in.
Wow, he was talking very important point when he come in. But Eddie, I want you to see something when the president talk about employment. Yeah, I want you to see something. Look at it.
Oh, those are some of the employment, right?
And that's the real employment, I agree.
Just a production of employment. That's children. Employment.
We got to get courtesy to those who share the video on their page, yeah, because we took it from the page. But look at this, AB. Look at how this is embarrassing, AB. Wisdom, look at it.
Very embarrassing. So they won't call in a crowd. They won't call in a crowd defending that.
AB, look at those children. Look at those kids.
Calling a crowd defense. Even supposed minister of defense there. So.
Yeah.
Even supposed minister.
Look at those children bossing. Those babies. 5, 6, 7 years old children. Look at them. And the president boasting of employment. Okay.
Back.
There's somebody said, look at what the person said. It's very important. The person says only those are the road workers and civil engineers to get job to. It's funny, but it's serious. Look at those kids. Think about children who the Boston rap for survival. Yeah, the other nigga saying, oh man. That child labor.
100%. Right.
And then the
employment.
About 70,000 greater employment.
No, AB, this is heartbreaking. Extremely heartbreaking, AB. Garrison, you saw the video?
I saw it, agree. I saw the video. You know, I think in one of my
grandchildren be bossing rock like that. A grandchildren. Can they boss rock? And is this what our friends in the Unity Party?
How about the employment though?
Is this what Cornino Crab posted and boasting of? That for road infrastructure, they employ these kids to boss rack, to have cross rack, to build RIA road. That dwells on area there. On RIA road. Dwells on, that's the location. See it again. This is extremely heartbreaking. See it. It's there. Look at Yeah, what it's saying? Hey, God, it means we're suffering. Look at the kids. Boston rank where they should be in school. And somebody go and give a State of the Nation address and announcing to the world that this is the kind of employment we have for our children around the world. This is terrible. This is abuse. This is human rights abuse. And the world is watching it. How dare our friend in Unity Party run with that? How dare you run with that? Imagine. See what Cornelia wrote. Look. How dare you run with that and justifying? Okay, you're justifying the employment. Look at this. Look at this. It said infrastructure and public work, 35,000 roads, urban lighting, yellow machine, roads. Infrastructure, public work, 35,000 wasn't including our children being employed. Social protection, cash for work. What kind of social protection are you doing? In this case, are Boston street children reintegration. If think about it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
For you, 8,000 entrepreneur grant, civil service volunteer, small businesses for you. You take children, you say the youth 8,000 of them. It be highlighting bend the CDC-led administration. And they get the children on a short term. They say short term seasonal project, 60% of the 70,000. And they struck a point. That means BOAKAI'S succeeded in employing more librarians than the civil servant of Liberia in 1 year time. In 1 year time, sure.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Eddie, tonight, to be frank with you, I see serious tears in my eyes.
No, sure, it's still integrating. And Twe wrote this, and somebody just captured it, and Twe said this, exactly quoting President Joseph BOAKAI, and he says this here. He says, so he says, we increased Liberia's paved roads from under 12% to the level of 20%. And I maintain more than 780 kilometers of roads. This is what President BOAKAI said, but this is what Twe said in response to that. Twe said, Mr. President, road pavement under President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was 5.7%. That means she paved and maintained about 745 kilometers of roads. President George Weah added 3.4% to this ratio, bringing the total pavement up to 9% by 2023. This means President Weah paved about 450 kilometers of roads. This brings the total paved roads in Liberia up to 1,119 kilometers as per December 2023. Mr. President, are your people telling you that your government added 11% to this 9% pavement number? This means they are telling you that your government paved more than 1,430 kilometers of roads, which is about 11% of Liberia's 13,000 kilometers of roads. Or did they get confused by numbers and reported this non-truth to you? Because of politics, your people are unfair to you, Mr. President, and this is not good for the country. I will leave the 70,000 jobs up to the Liberian people. This one is above my pay grade. But just wanted to share with you, the public, the impossibility your advisors made you to read to the Liberian people. We imagine that.
Let me tell you what the contradicted themselves. Even to help them a little bit. Let me tell you something. Listen to the arrest agenda. This is the arrest agenda or general construction. Listen to the arrest agenda, what President BOAKAI wrote himself, and he unveiled to the Liberian people. There's a portion to say only an estimated 1,275 kilometers, that is 11.2%, are paid up from 745 kilometers in 2017 to 2018. The arrest agenda is saying Now, up to 2017, 2018, from the time they took power, they paved 745 kilometers of road, all of 1,275 kilometers. This means that when you take 745 kilometers from 1,275, the CDC pay 530 kilometers of road. That's what it means. Between 2018, 5,030 kilometers of road paved by the CDC. And this paved kilometer of road of 745 kilometers by the United Party, not just the United Party. That the total paved road of Liberia that they were talking about after the United Party led administration. So technically, when you take the United Party up, it means CDC pay more roads than them. And President BOAKAI'S in the State of the Nation address today says they intend to pay 485 kilometers of roads. Then you contradict inside that they have paid 1,000 and some more kilometers of roads. 485. Ebi, can you imagine in 6 years? And you want to compare yourself to CDC in 6 years? CDC says they have paid 530 kilometers of roads.
Right, right. Okay, General Moses, I agree.
And Ebi, that you will not stop on the road. I will show it to you again. Will not stop on the
road. No, I know that. So Winston, please try opening the lines there. Let our people join in. You can coordinate it from there. Let our people join in right here, and as we move on here tonight. So Winston, yeah, we are seeing the kids trying to broke the rock. Yeah, as employment. Will you imagine? Oh man. Okay.
Employment.
Yeah.
Workers' employment.
Winston, that's
the biggest employment of the country.
I trust that. Yeah. So Winston, you can just open the lines now. Yeah.
No, take the course from your end, Avi. Go ahead.
You can take it from there. I have a line turning yet. That's what I'm saying. Take it from your end. Just announce the numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
0777985. Representative Gray, please pin the WhatsApp number. You can put the calls to 0777985 and the numbers to call and be a part of the show this evening. Let's go to the line and take this one. Good morning. Good evening.
Yeah, I'm listening, and I just heard from Jeffrey.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I listened to the analysis of the president's speech, where you guys made mention about the president's lies on his achievement. So I want you guys to do a competitive analysis of President William lies when he said that Gabriel was Miami, and Samuel said that he had placed over 20 million people out of poverty. And when Samuel also said that Gabriel was supplying Africa with electricity. So compare those lies and see who are the best liars. Thank you for your show.
Thank you so much. And that's the reason why you came to power, to rescue. All of these things should be changed, not justification. Good morning. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Lucas, and I call you from Magui County, Kagara, to be specific.
Go ahead.
I want to take this time to appreciate the studio guests and the panelists for the analysis. It is always said to lie is hard. It's hard than the government. The Unity Party came to governance by the way of lies, but the president is contradicting, and the voters are disappointed. They are disappointed. From the SONA address today, Joe BOAKAI is not in control. But we will be patient. We'll be patient. We will be quiet. The electrics will do the analysis, and at the end of the day, they will decide 2029 what is good for the Liberian people. Thank you very much for the show. Thank you for our financial experts, and we hope and pray that we hold together as a team for the betterment of this country.
Thank you so kindly. Let's take another one. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Thank you. Chile. I call for the power of nuclear from the person is a complete disappointment to the African people. Let me clear. What the president agreed to this, the African people are clear in short. I don't want the Unity Party to see the engage or CDC on the Unity Party because when you go in and market, they will take a couple of rest, CDC president and Unity Party president. Where the president agreed, there's 70,000 jobs. Where's 70,000 jobs? Why the president agreed 400 kilometers? So the people just were nothing but cash and putting in for President Baka, he said, come on, what happened? We see to read the Let's go. So they may realize that it's serious because a serious president will not be to the country to people. We need a power and you can, what have we for the president? Like 3 years. 3 years running. They don't come and mess the president can't be doing that. And people sit there and just say, well, let me say, take you to Honorable Craig. You know, Honorable Craig, they're fighting for the party. And today, tell boys to listen to me. Honorable, CDC is owing you because you are fought. You are sure we are loyal to for the party. So I just want to give the media to say thank you, General, and continue to be pushing because of the party. I see all kinds of people, and that's what they shot the social media. They shot you. If it was sponsor, you see all kinds of things. I want to say thank you, Honorable Chris, and I appreciate that effort. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, so kind. They will take 2 more. Then we'll go to the US to take calls for breathing walk.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello?
Please go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
My name is Bama Emisharia, I'm calling for Sir Mother Desio for me county, specific to the starter. Yeah, my body has to do it.
Dale? You got me, Dale?
Yeah, come here. Okay, I'll unmute. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're having small technical problem. It seems to be that our friend went out. But those who call in from the abroad, you want to call on WhatsApp, you can call +231 555 222 226. We are live on Kings FM, Banner FM, and we have our online platform. So Winston just went off on Banner FM, 98.5. So you can keep calling in. Those who want to call on WhatsApp can call on +231 555 222 226. Yeah, Winston, you went off and we'll call you right back.
No, the calls are going through. Calls are going through.
Hello. Yeah, Winston, we got a caller here.
Hello? Yeah, go ahead. You are live on the radio. Go ahead.
All right. So this is Sue Sharif from Honor the Palava Home. On information, we are also broadcasting this particular presentation live on all of our platforms.
Oh, thank you very much, Prince.
6 platforms, including TikTok.
Okay.
So let me first of all say thanks to all of the analysts. Today, what we've seen is the biggest deception ever of this government. It is now strange because from the very beginning or from the very inception of this government, when they were in opposition, they used lies, deception to find their way to the executive mansion. This was a man who promised the Liberian people that in 100 days, our rules will be pliable. Unfortunately, today, even the common man on the street can see that the 22 million that was allocated for pliable rule, that particular amount was siphoned by this very government. Today, we are seeing in this very government that the Liberian people were promised that 10,000 young people were going to be trained. Today, we are yet to see a vivid report of the 10,000 youth that were trained and they were employed in this government. For this government to add insult to injury and tell the Liberian people in this SONA that they have provided 70,000 jobs, exceeding the number that we already have. Even during the regime of Madam Ellie Johnson Sirleaf, the number of people in our Liberian way that were working in the government, that government were paying, we say government record there, that Joseph Newman BOAKAI'S is telling all the 12 years for President we are on a year that he has come to double. So there are 70,000 that Joseph Newman BOAKAI'S already created the job for, according to him, plus the already 60,000+ that we have. They mean we don't need to worry about job again in Liberia. But I believe the people who they took off the street, that is the motorcyclists, will respond to this deception of Mr. BOAKAI'S. He talks about the issue of road, like you rightly intimated. Let's look at the road. For Mr. BOAKAI'S to tell the Liberian people that he have paved almost about 8+% of the road, meaning totaling even what was even paid by the late or the slain President Samuel Kayode, coming down to even Madam Ellie Johnson Sirleaf, to the excellent President Dr. George Barrow. So BOAKAI'S is telling us that in this period of 2 years, he has exceeded it. This is deception. But I want to end on this note by saying, and I don't want to give this platform as saying, we are going to hold the authority of the CDC in very, very high extent, because we believe that we have all of the capacity to adequately respond to this SONA. I know what we are doing now is just almost like a prelude of trying to dissect.
The party will respond tomorrow.
But again, we are expecting a very robust and a detailed response from the party. Thank you so much, Honorable Gray.
Thank you. Hello, what's the name? Where are you calling from?
This is Ernest Kaki calling from Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA.
What's your contribution?
I'm not contribution per se, but I'm just disappointed in our president. To a president of a country, President BOAKAI'S, who before some walking to America, well, they told us that he had this experience of 50 or how many years experience in government to come on. On the international stage, because not only you guys in Liberia, but even we in the US here, we have followed the speech. I was too embarrassed at my working side. I have some friends, they were asking me, I just want to tell the president, our brother and sister that are back home, even we in the diaspora here. If the president was to tell me he created 70,000 jobs, I call my family. I was joking there, I was just teasing them. I said, but then I don't think you people will be receiving, a little anything from us, because your president, he's doing well for you now. If you can create 70,000 jobs last year, and you're promising to, I think, create another 200 and some more thousand jobs for you guys. And I think, he's trying to take stress from us.
Okay.
So, really, President BOAKAI'S, I'm very disappointed. You are a president. You are not taking care of who? You are taking care of the country. So please, you need to stop this kind of bullshit lie. Thank you, God.
Thank you. Your name again?
Ernest Kaki, calling from Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA.
Thank you very much. Okay, Benedict just joined us. So Benedict will take maybe 2 more callers, and then we'll give you ample time to speak maybe the next, because most will soon be offset.
We're fighting at so many from a foreign way.
Yeah, I know, Benedict. I know. I got your message. But Benedict, you can go ahead quickly. We'll give you a few minutes, because maybe the other callers will call in. Okay, but let's give you a few minutes, then we can continue.
So generally, I was not surprised, but I was more than out of words. So I've heard what the president. I sent you something also about mathematics. I did a mathematics on the rules, for example. Just to tell you that the people who wrote that speech.
Let's take the call. The person called directly.
No problem.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, can you be louder? Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Jeffrey. I'm calling from Texas.
Yeah, we listen to you. What's your contribution? Can you just be louder? I beg you, just elevate your voice.
Absolutely. Just quickly, I just wanted to sharpen real quick. First of all, I want to thank you folks for this endeavor. I've always thought that the best way to tear apart this nonsense of a government that we have in the Bureau right now would be to organize something like this, where we have the best of the CDCs coming together on a continual basis, on a daily basis, and tearing this government apart. Because it's actually beneath us to even talk about what Joseph BOAKAI did today. The disgrace that we're facing as a nation, it's really overwhelming.
We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money, that I beg them. The money should be used to bless our people. Thank you, and God bless.